Here we are, day 3. I got the opposite side buttoned up. The alignment still isn't perfect. The test drive felt great though. I definitely accentuated everything that's wrong with this side. The one thing that I have to do on this side that I already did on the other side is the wheel bearing. And I don't know if you're familiar with this design. Alright everybody, it appears through my Google Analytics that 50% of viewers leave before the first 30 seconds of my video is done, and that's crazy. Watch this. Like, down inside there, there's 4 bolt heads to bolt this brake rotor to the wheel hub. Impossible to remove the rotor without pressing the wheel bearing out.
No! God, please, no!
I've already started with disconnecting the ball joint. Obviously the wheel is off and the brake is moved. So I gotta pop the tie rod out and take these 2 bolts out. Then the wheel hub needs to come off the axle and then it'll be free. So, alright, this wheel bearing has gotta come out and we're gonna put the new control arm in, sway bar end link. Look how disgusting this is. Of course, the axle. The axle boot is torn wide open, full of dirt and rocks. This sway bar end link is bent and the middle cylinder is seized, so I haven't quite gotten that off, but it actually doesn't matter because I'm replacing this whole control arm. The other issue I faced was the brand new tie rod I put in about a month ago was ridiculously stuck into the spindle. So the small outer bolt on the rear bushing carriage is just putting up a little bit of a fight. It's doing that. Oh, it looks like it has way too much thread locker on it. Wow. All the Mazda components in this car are fantastic. Reliable engine, very fuel efficient, but then there's all of the Ford aspects, so. Oh, the back one's super, super easy. It's almost like they put all the thread locker on one bolt. This is the aftermath of my pinky. I should have been recording, but I wasn't because I didn't think it was possible, but with this terrible rotor design, I still managed to press it out on the home press. I had to use the weird like chalk blocks it came from, of 4x4, and really quickly, I just wanted to say that if you're doing this on a budget and you don't have a press and you're gonna take it to that's probably going to cost you about $80 to $100, and this press was like, I think $110. It doesn't take up a lot of space, it's pretty small, and it's a very useful tool. I have to take these wheel bearings off first. I've already got one set out. It's kind of covered in everything because I'm doing this outside, but this is the outer race, and this is the bearing with the rollers. So there's one of these on each side of the wheel hub. So there's the race pressed into there. I popped the other one out with the hammer and chisel. This is a fixed ridge on the inside of the wheel hub. And lower down in here there's a small ridge. That is the bearing race. You kind of have to go back and forth and hammer it on all sides so that it's evenly being pushed out because it's a very tight tolerance. There's also a spacer on these Capris. Most modern cars are not going to have all this. The Subarus just have a single unit press and bearing. There are sealed units that are already greased, and you don't have to mess with all this. But
I get to pick my grease,
so it's kind of fun in a way. So what I'm gonna do is use this wheel. They're already designed to fit together. I don't know why this one is. Look at that guy. Whoa! Don't go in there. I found that the best way is to do the bolts across from the way that you're gonna pull on it. It gives you the advantage because the torque locks it in place in the wheel. Now that the brake rotor is off, we can actually access the side of the wheel hub with a chisel or a bearing removal tool. Side note, you're going to want to get yourself some of these. Alright, so the bearing didn't fully come off because it broke. It kind of got jammed a little bit at a funny angle, so I'm going to go ahead and use the hammer and chisel to get the rest of this off.
The next day.
So I made the fatal mistake of returning the hub to the spindle without bolting the rotor back on. Gotta go back a few steps, gotta pull it back apart, gotta bolt the rotor back on, and then put it back together. Setting, I'm hoping I don't contaminate the new grease very much. Fingers crossed everything goes fine. It immediately exploded apart as soon as I got it under pressure, so did not go great.
If you're still watching right now, thank you, sincerely. I have to apologize. I either lost the remaining footage of this work or I just gave up on filming after the stupid brake rotor thing. So, anyways, stay tuned for a life and channel update. We should have a lot of great content coming this year, so make sure you're subscribed. And if you have any questions about how to put your Capri back together, just shoot me a comment and I will reply. Thank you for watching.